Know that 911 callers say that there were at least 8 shots fired in this Kroger during an altercation between a man and a security guard. Now, there is debris from the explosion spread all over the property, but I want to take you here behind me where you can see a propane tank from police releasing disturbing details about what led up to these murders. They say Nicole Cunningham Jr. and one of the victims had a long, troubled history, and that escalated to deadly violence early Wednesday morning. We are here in Troy on the public square. As you can see, it is really filling up now. There are quite a few people out here in their lawn chairs, standing in line to get food. Kelly and Jack, police say this all started when a man got into an altercation at the main office here at the Red Roof Inn. They say that's when that man allegedly brandished a knife and barricaded himself here in a room. Rooms at the Red Roof Inn on Miller Lane evacuated after a man barricaded himself inside. Police say the incident began after the suspect threatened staff and other guests at the hotel. The Montgomery County SWAT team used flashbangs and tear gas to force the suspect to surrender more than 3 hours later, after several attempts to make contact with him.
Well, we've been here a little bit over 3 hours, and so there were a lot of efforts through multiple loudspeakers, multiple phone calls.
The standoff began around 10:30 this morning with local officers trying to speak with the suspect who allegedly threatened police. This prompting a large response from several local agencies and nearby jurisdictions.
And so it takes a large group of those individuals to coordinate with the different police agencies that are here in order to make that happen.
There were no reported injuries of officers involved or the suspect. Officials say the suspect will have to pay for the damage caused to the room where he barricaded himself.
We're looking at significant property damage to the residents that this individual will be responsible for.
At this point, it is unclear when the room will be repaired, and people staying in nearby rooms have been evacuated. Live in Butler Township, Aaliyah, Seabrooks, 2 News. Brooke and John, Armanio Joseph now faces at least 20 years in prison and thousands of dollars of fines for causing a crash last August where 11-year-old Aiden Clark died. Now the trial taking just 3 days from jury selection to the verdict. During the final day, the prosecution rested its case, with the defense then calling 2 witnesses. First, an accident reconstruction specialist testified that Joseph veered into the middle of the road, causing the crash, adding the sun was in Joseph's eyes, and that coupled with the curve of the road were factors in the incident. Then Armanio Joseph took the witness stand. He said that he knew it was not necessary, but felt that testifying was something that he had to do. Through a translator, Joseph addressed the jury and testified in his own defense. However, that was not enough to persuade a jury. Here's the moment the judge read the first guilty verdict.
We find the defendant, Armanio Joseph, guilty of vehicular homicide pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 2903.06A3A, as set forth in Count 2 of the indictment. We further find that at the time of the offense, the defendant was driving under a suspension or cancellation.
The validity of Joseph's Mexican driver's license was a major point for the prosecution. They argued that Joseph was illegally driving without a U.S. driver's license on the day of the bus crash, and the jury agreed. The defense argued that he was uninformed and only did not have a valid U.S. driver's license because he has temporary resident status and could not apply for a driver's license until he is granted permanent asylum. Joseph's lack of a valid license was cited as a deciding factor for the jury as the judge read the verdict. The judge also acknowledged the sensitivity of the case and the toll disturbing images that the jury saw had on them.
This is something that we all, as members of the court system, signed up for, but you guys didn't. So I do want to thank you very much for your service.
Joseph's attorney tell me that they are disappointed in the verdict, but they respect the jury's decision. They also say that they plan to appeal. Now, sentencing is set for May 21st, and Joseph will be held without bond until then. Live in Springfield, Aaliyah, Seabrooks, 2 News.